Now, in what seemed to be an inevitable divorce, Honda and Marc Marquez have agreed to mutually part ways at the end of the 2023 MotoGP season. With a year remaining on Marquez's 4-year contract, both sides felt it was best to end this relationship early and move on. After spending 11 years together, Marquez and Honda earned 6 Premier Class World Championships, 5 Triple Crowns, 59 wins, 101 podiums, and 64 poles. Marquez thanked Honda for all the memories and noted while they're separating, they'll always be together. As Marquez departs Honda, it's heavily rumoured in the media that he'll join the Gresini Ducati in 2024. The graphic there courtesy of MotoGP. Matt, how odd will it be next season not seeing Marquez on a Honda bike for the first time? And do you think this fresh start in 2024 will see him return to his old form?
It's going to be really, really strange, isn't it, to see Marc not in, well, we would presume, not in Repsol colours, because of course he was in those colours in Moto 2 and 125s, because he was in 125 before it's Moto 3, on his way through. But as you said, this has been coming for all year. And you have to go, if you rewind the clock all the way back to that very first race back after the COVID break at Jerez, when he came off and bashed his arm into many pieces, it seemed. You have to go, before end of 2019, who would have said in 3 years this is going to be all over between Marquez and Honda, and he's going to be off to a satellite Ducati team? How the mighty have fallen. No, not all of his own fault. Of course, the bike has been pretty terrible, especially this year. Him and Mia have really struggled on it, as have Yamaha. The Japanese manufacturers in MotoGP really have had a struggle on their hands. This, to put it into kind of context for non-MotoGP aficionados, this would be kind of like Lewis Hamilton leaving Mercedes and going to race for, I don't know, someone in the midfield like Haas or Williams. That kind of thing. Joseph Newgarden going to race for Dale Coyne after being successful. Is that kind of big seismic shift. And as you said, it looks like he's going to Gresini to team up with his brother, who they were teammates a couple of years ago, weren't they, in the top team? Although Marc spent most of that year on the sidelines and Alex held up the baton for Repsol. But got a podium, didn't he, Marc, at the weekend in that shortened race at Motegi. And we said it might happen going into the Motegi weekend, and it looks like, and then it didn't happen. As well, it's probably going to happen this week. We're at Indonesia next, which is where the main sponsor of the Gresini team is from. So they haven't said anything, not a peep out of Gresini today. So we imagine that there's something. Well, maybe this time next week we'll be talking about Marc Marquez signing for Gresini. He's had to buy himself out of this contract. Let's not beat around the bush here. It's been a Marc thing. None of his crew are coming with him. They will stay with the Repsol team. This is a Marquez solitary move to go to Gresini. Strange sentence I'm about to say, Marc Marquez revitalized his career.
I don't know, because it's really hard to say, because as you said, he's always raced on a Honda. I've got the stats in front of me from the commentary we did at the weekend, and some of them in pink ink as well. 240 Grand Prix starts in total. He's won 85 of them. He's had 92 poles, 75 fastest laps, 140 podiums, world championships across MotoGP, Moto2, the 125s. And he's been on a Honda since Portugal 2008. It's a long time to be on that type of bike and then just move it around. I was commentating the first time he won a MotoGP race back in 2013 at COTA. And it makes me feel old, because at that point, he was the rookie, the young upcoming star on a bike, dominating, got pole position his first race, took victory in race 3 of the season. He was right there. To leave Honda, we've never seen this before. And especially with a contract still in place for the following year. Valentino Rossi, Jorge Lorenzo, they've all jumped to different teams at the end of their contracts. For Marc to say, no, this Honda's no good, mid-contract. It's never happened before. So
Mm.
an additional question I want to ask you on that one. He's going to be riding this year's Ducati, which at the moment is already being beaten in the championships by last year's Ducati. Will Marc be happy being on a year-old bike for multiple seasons in his Ganassi team, or does he want the top-tier machinery?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, isn't it? I mean, you look at the way the championship's kind of unfolding at the minute, with Jorge Martin coming up on the rails with a few races to go on, not the current spec. Is Marc looking at that and going, no, that looks like a tasty bit of kit. I could find myself on that and go well. But then Bagnaia was doing well at the start of the year and has had his troubles and his injuries and everything else. It's been the Ducati Cup, really, hasn't it, for most of the season in MotoGP, apart from Fabio Gianantonio, who's found himself a little bit further off the pace than the rest of the VR46s and the Pramacs and, of course, the Works team. So to spin back to your first question, will he go well? Of course he'll go well. Of course he'll win races. But can he mount a championship challenge like, we expect him to do? Or is it going to go the way of Rossi when he went to Ducati and obviously got himself injured in that period as well? And other people that have tried to jump, like Lorenzo, didn't really go well at Honda and things. So a bit of it could be a poison chalice, but as I said, it could be, exactly what Marc needs. And let's be honest, this season has just been shocking for both of those riders to get all the way through to October before they got their first podium. It's just unthinkable for the Honda factory team.
Well, we knew all too well that he would be leaving as well, Honda, at the end of this season. And it was nobody's guess that him and Honda would never, ever be getting back together. Now he's going to go with a blank space to Ducati and hope that he can make something enchanted there.